Hello once again, this is Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. I wanted to apologize for last week. I wasn't able to get anything out. It's been a hectic week, and this week's been hectic too. But I promise I'm going to try to get a couple things out this week and a couple next week to make up for it. So I thought I'd throw along a little Civil War history here around Gettysburg. And our first stop I'm stopping at is called Sachs Bridge. It's a covered bridge that was here during the Civil War and during the Battle of Gettysburg. So follow me on this adventure. I'll stop at 3 locations, possibly 4, of the Civil War and things to do with the Battle of Gettysburg. And then I'll try to get something else out this week on top of that too. So follow me. So I thought I'd give you a little history before we actually go walking around and looking at the bridge here, Sachs Bridge. It's real easy to get to if you're ever in Gettysburg. You just go down Emmitsburg Road, where Pickett's Charge happened, and you go across Stringtown Road, across Confederate Avenue, and follow that road out, and you'll come to this covered bridge off to the left. It crosses Marsh Creek. Now I'm going to give you a little history, and then I'll show you around the bridge. The history of this bridge, it was here way before the Battle of Gettysburg, but Lee's troops used this bridge to cross over Marsh Creek for the battle and for retreat. So it's said on the second day of the battle that there's a lot of ghost stories that go along with this, that 3 Confederate soldiers were hung on this bridge for deserting. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. It's rumored that the people have seen their spirits hanging on the bridge. Now, I know for a fact that this bridge is haunted. Whether it be spirits, ghosts, demons, I'm not sure what it is, but I know there's something here. I've done EVPs on this bridge. I've captured a lot of great ghost pictures, as far as ectoplasma forming into a foggy mist trying to form, and some orbs. And I've got Class A EVPs here. I actually was talking to a Confederate soldier. I'd ask, now remember, I was a skeptic on this stuff. Now, I did work at the historic Farnsworth house in town, and I plan on doing a cellar basement ghost tour and showing you that. But yes, that's when I started believing in spirits, when I actually started working at the Farnsworth house. It's the 5th most haunted bed and breakfast in America. But this bridge has its things too. Now, they don't allow too much of the ghost hunting here anymore because people was trying to vandalize the bridge, and that's a shame. But I did ask if there was any Confederate soldiers here with me tonight, and paused, and then asked what unit it was with. When I replayed it, I was surprised. To my surprise, it was just me and my buddy Jack out here. He was on one side of the bridge, I was on the other. That I actually got answered. The first one real clear, like he was standing right next to me, said, "Sure is." And then I said, "Well, what unit are you with?" And it said 114 Virginia. But I researched, there was no 114th Virginia here, but there was a 14th Virginia 1st Regiment. So, like I said, this bridge was used for Lee's retreat back over South Mountain after the Battle of Gettysburg. So, follow me and I'll show you around the bridge. So, folks, this is the bridge, Sachs Covered Bridge. You can see there's people out here fishing. This is a good spot to go fishing. All the nice fish in here. There's bass and catfish and a little bit of everything. This is Marsh Creek. And like I said, in this direction, this way is South Mountain. So Lee's army came across here, coming to the battle and retreating. It's really pretty out here. These are all the original boards and the original planks on the bridge. If you look up there, they say this is rope marks on that beam from where they hung the 3 Confederate soldiers. Now this bridge actually washed away down to the dam, and they say the bridge is reversed. This side was on the other side and the other side was on this side, and they almost destroyed the bridge. It was a flood. There's a plaque over here I'll take you to and show you. But and then they brought the bridge back, repaired it with the original materials, and raised it about 3 foot higher. All right, folks, I'm going to show you the plaque down here. It talks about the bridge and the history of it when it flooded. It says built for the county for workers under David Stoner in 1852. The Sachs Bridge is an Adams County landmark. It was crossed by both armies during the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863 and carried parts of the Army of Northern Virginia as it retreated. Before its 96-97 rehabilitation, its deck was supported by truss lattice based on a design by Chowert Ethel Town. After it washed nearly 100 yards downstream in a flooded Marsh Creek on June 8, 1998, workers salvaged it. Sachs Bridge. Within a year again, the bridge was built over the creek again with 90% of its original materials. Then this is all cracked now, so you can't really see, but there was a picture here that showed it downstream. This bridge was used up to recently until the 1930s. And then it was shut down. But this is it, Sachs Bridge. So follow me on this adventure, and I'm gonna take you to the next spot. It's just down the road here, about another mile on the same road, and we'll take a look at the next site. Follow me. Hello folks, we're at our second stop, and this is from the movie Gettysburg. This is the actual place they filmed. This is the barn where they did the scene of General Hood being wounded in the movie Gettysburg. I'll show you around, so follow me. So this is the actual barn that they used in the movie Gettysburg. If you remember, they had a bunch of people out through here with buckets of legs and arms and all the scenes. This is the scene where Longstreet comes to visit General Hood after he was wounded. I don't know if we can see inside or not, but we'll try to take a peek. A lot of wood boring bees. Looks like they have a lot of hay inside, so you ain't gonna be able to see much, but looks like they're storing hay. But yeah, this is the actual barn where they filmed. And Longstreet and General Hood. And if you remember, you can see there's a lot of hay being stored. There was a piece of wooden fence here, just like on the other end, and I can't remember the character's name, but it was the spy that Longstreet had going around spying for him, was sitting on this fence right here at this end. He's also the one at the end that Pickett's charge said he'd like to get him a rifle. He didn't want to miss out on the Pickett's charge. And Longstreet explained to him, you know what is about to happen here, and he explained it to him, and he still was brave and said, yes, I still want to do the charge, so I'll take that rifle if you don't mind. but this is the barn. They did a lot of filming locations out here in that area. They did some battle scenes of Pickett's Charge in that field. Some of the actual battlefield was used, like the Little Round Top Devil's Den area, but most of it was filmed on the outskirts of town here. But I thought I'd show you that. So this is the actual barn from that scene. It was after the second day when General Hood tried to make his assault up Little Round Top. I remember his famous line was, he kind of protested to it and said, well, they can roll rocks down on us. But General Lee insisted, and they still had to make the charge. Now this barn here was actually probably used as a real Civil War hospital. I'm sure most of the buildings all around Gettysburg was, because there's a historical home right here with it. So I hope you're enjoying this vlog, and sit back and enjoy. And we got a couple more stops to make before this vlog is over, so follow me on this adventure. Okay folks, we're headed to our next stop, and I want to start filming now because there's really no place where I can park my car to show you this, but I'll give you a little history of it. As we approach it, there's a marker by this historical home up here, and the marker actually shows the first shot in the Battle of Gettysburg. Now I've showed you the first cannon fired previously on the first day's battle, but this is actually the marker, marks the first rifle shot fired in the Battle of Gettysburg. It was a lieutenant, I believe, who put his rifle up on the fence and was pointing it here as Hill and Heath's division was coming up this road here, which is the Chambersburg Pike that leads into Gettysburg. So they actually had troops like a mile or two outside of town, like cavalry skirmishers. And this is it. This is the house right here in front of me at the stop sign, and that little marker right there on the side of the hill that the truck just passed, that is the marker that shows the exact location that shot was fired. So we're also going to go to our next stop, which is down the Chambersburg Pike here, about 3 or 4 miles to our next stop location, which will be our last location on this vlog today. And that will be the Cashtown Inn. Now I don't know if you've heard of the Cashtown Inn. It's been filmed on a lot of the ghost shows like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Lab. And it was a inn called, and the town was called Cashtown, and the inn was called Cashtown Inn because rumor has it that the owner of the Cashtown Inn would only take cash only for his business there. Now this inn I'm taking you to, called the Cashtown Inn, seen many Confederates pass it, many famous Confederate leaders during the Battle of Gettysburg, because they had to go right past it from the South Mountain Pass on their way to the Battle of Gettysburg. Many generals had been inside, including Lee, Heath, Hill, Longstreet passed it. So it's got a lot of history and a lot of ghost stories that go along with it, which, like I said, I'm a believer in that stuff. Now I don't know if it's spirits, ghosts, or demons. I don't like to mess with it, but I know it exists because, like I said, I worked at the Farnsworth House, and it's the 5th most haunted bed and breakfast in America. And I know that the Cashtown Inn is also haunted. I'll tell you a couple of the stories when we get down here, but follow me on this adventure as we continue, and we'll be there within a couple miles, and I'll show you the Cashtown Inn. So folks, we made it to our last location, and we are in the town of Cashtown. Very small town. It was even smaller back then. This is the Cashtown Inn right here. Got some living history people, or that might be the owners, but that is the Cashtown Inn, and right there's the road that Lee's division would have come down. So give you a little history of it. Right here's a little historical sign. It says the historic Cashtown Inn has been offering lodging and dining to weary travelers since the turn of the 19th century. It says roads were important to the town development just as the automobile was important to their prosperity. All roads brought travelers into the countryside. They needed places to stay and eat. Inns attracted businesses that served the traveling public, which in turn spurred the development of towns. After the birth of the automobile, more people than ever traveled for recreation. In 1812, the construction of a turnpike northwest extension spurred Peter Marsh to build this brick tavern here. By 1821, Cashtown has been established, which allegedly received its name because Marsh insisted on cash payments, just like I told you. During the Civil War, Confederates passed by the inn twice in mid-October 62 and during the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863. On July 5th, a Confederate wagon train carrying wounded men left Cashtown. The train was about 17 miles in length. Now, I want to show you this picture because it's a famous photograph. It was taken in 1895, and supposedly there's a spirit in the picture here. The guy here is in front is posing, as you can see. But when they took pictures back then, it was common for people to take pictures side by side, not to stand off from each other. Now, the guy up here to the left, right here, is supposedly dressed in Civil War garment and could be a ghost, for what they believe, because he's just standing there. Like I said, it would have been common for them to stand side by side. So this fella here is obviously in the photograph getting this picture taken. This guy here could be a ghost. Now there's other things that supposedly happen here. You get apparitions looking out the windows sometimes. Sometimes the porch swing on the front here will swing on its own. There's stories of if you sit out here on the porch in the evening time, you can hear a banjo playing Dixie. There's been movements of furniture, etc. If you watch some of the old episodes of Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and Ghost Labs, you'll see some of that footage. There's a room up here where General Hill's picture turned on the stand by itself. Now I know since I've been here the last time, it has been bought by new owners. This is a picture showing General Hill, General Lee coming down the road, and other officers standing around the Cashtown Inn. Like I said, this would have been the White House right here is right there, and that's the road where in the picture the Army's coming down. Even General Jeb Stuart had passed by this. So like I said, it's had a lot of famous Confederate soldiers and officers in and out and around this building. I'll try across the street here and show you a better view of the front. So that second window up there, there's another famous picture where it looked like an apparition looking out the window. So yeah, there's been a lot of famous photographs taken. A lot of weird happenings happened here. So who knows? But it's said to be very haunted. So I hope you've enjoyed this blog. I wanted to put something together for you, and I figured this would be nice. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get a couple other things out this week and next week, so look to see maybe a couple videos posted this week and next week. So I hope you'd enjoy this, and if you're watching this, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free, don't cost you a thing. Even if you don't watch another video I make, just hit the little red subscribe button. It helps me out, keeps my YouTube channel going and growing. Please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions of things you'd like to see in the future. And once again, this is Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. And until next time, go out and have your own adventures. And again, please subscribe to my channel. Till next time, goodbye.